The Earl B. Gilliam Bar Association teamed up with school principals and San Diego's Legal Aid Society to do the after-school workshop at Morris, Crawford, and Lincoln High Schools. Here with further details are my guests, San Diego Unified School District's Board President, Marnie Foster, and Attorney Dennis Dawson, president of the Earl B. Gilliam Bar Association. And Dennis, you and the other attorneys from your association teach these workshops. What's the goal behind these workshops, and why did you decide to do them now?
Well, the workshops are given in light of the background of what has to be described as an increasingly sad epidemic of officer-involved homicides where African American men are dying because of the confrontations that they are having with police officers. The goal of the workshops are twofold. One is to educate high school students on safety measures that they can and should take in order to maximize the chances of them leaving that interaction with the police officer in a safe manner. The second goal of the workshop is to advise those high school students of their legal rights that they should know ahead of time so that they can use that knowledge of those legal rights when they are interacting with the officers.
And we're going to drill down on that in just a moment, but I want to ask Marnie first, why did you feel it was important for the school district to become involved in this?
Well, San Diego Unified is well aware of the disproportionate criminalization prosecutions of students of color, particularly Latino and African American males. And so this is critical conversation, is the difference between life and death. And we want students to have this type of training before they're dispersed for summer.
And Dennis, as far as teaching these safe interactions that you were talking about, can you give us some examples of what you teach?
Well, the first thing we taught was an example of what not to do if you're stopped by the police. We role-played a scenario where one of the fellow presenters at one of the workshops acted as the police officer. I acted as a driver. He attempted to pull me over. I took my time. I did not pull over right away. When I did pull over, I did the wrong thing. In this scenario, I jumped out of the car, ran toward the officer and said, "Why did you stop me? I wasn't doing anything." And the officer apparently felt threatened and he pulled his gun on me. We use that as an example of what not to do. What we advise the students to do when they are stopped is to pull over as soon as it is reasonably appropriate in light of the traffic, to roll the window down so that you could hear what the officer is saying when he approaches you. If you have passengers in the car, to tell them to be silent and to remain calm, and you as the driver should certainly do that yourself. We then told them not to say anything. Let the officer do the talking. Don't make any admissions which could be used against you by the officer or later in a court of law. That was the initial part of the presentation. We also told them that you should not make any furtive movements, meaning any movements that could be reasonably interpreted by the officer as being suspicious or secretive or designed to hide something. For example, we told them not to reach under the car seat, not to reach toward any portion of the car, not to reach into the glove compartment, to keep their hands on the steering wheel. And if it's at nighttime, to turn on the dome light in the car so the officer can see that you're not carrying anything that might be difficult for him to deal with.
Certainly some good advice, but most high school students are under the age of 18. So what are their legal rights when they're stopped by a police? Can they use the ACLU app and take video? Or do they have the same legal rights being underage?
They have a right to take a video, of course they do, and all of them carry the cell phones, so we would encourage them to take videos. But if the officer, for example, asks them, "Can I search you?" they have a right to say respectfully, "I respectfully do not consent to this search of my body." If the officer says, "Can I look in your trunk of your car?" he's asking permission, and we have advised them to say respectfully, "I do not consent to the search of my property."
So this is some good tips for students, but Marnie, what do you think local law enforcement can do to improve relationships and improve interactions with high school students, people of color?
Well, San Diego Unified is a little bit unique. We have our own police department within San Diego Unified. And what I would suggest is working with us, because our officers are highly trained and specialized in supporting, interacting with youth in a restorative way that most often does not end up in students with the legal system. And so partnerships with us is a major part of the solution.
All right, Monry Foster and Dennis Dawson, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.